set up one more thing for you.
No, that's not what I want.
All right. That should be good.
Live from the internet's red carpet, it's Verbo's 2025 vacation rentals of the year. Selected from over 2 million private vacation rentals, this year's list features the best of Verbo. And with weekly discounts on select stays, they might be more affordable than you think. See the list at verbo.com and make it a Verbo.
Don't touch the YouTube. They're like on right now, aren't they, too? So,
begins with Serena and Lily.
alright.
Schedule your free consultation by calling your local design shop or visiting serenaandlily.com. Serena and Lily, the essence of home is here.
And welcome to Stony Brook Baseball, Seawolves Baseball. Today we have Eddie Spink on the mound. Eddie Spink, of course, got some accolades before the season, was awarded one of the players to watch here. It's the Stony Brook Seawolves against the Campbell Camels. Both teams at 500. Seawolves on a 3-game winning streak, 15-15. The Campbell Camels at 17-17. It's a conference matchup. The Camels are 5-4 in the conference, and the Seawolves are 3-6. Something's got to give today, though. One of the teams are going to be 1 game below, and one team will be feeling good at 1 game above 500. We're about 6 minutes from first pitch. It's around 49, 50 degrees. A little bit of rain right now to start, but it should clear out here in Stony Brook, New York at Joe Nathan Field. Eddie Spink throwing some warm-ups to, let's get those lineups in. For the Camels, the Campbell Camels, we have for their lineup, we have Parker at shortstop, Thompson at center field, Meglio at third base, Morton at first, Schultz at second base, Sweet Music at DH, his name is Music, his last name, right field Schramm, catcher Thompson, left field Simpson, and pitching for the Camels is Brown. And for Stony Brook, we have Spink on the mound, Eddie Spink, center field Zampiron, first base Paulson, DH Aspuquate, right field Doughty, second base Pilla, catching Zepek, left field Carson, third base Davino, shortstop Maselli, and we're ready for first pitch now as the shortstop Parker comes to hit, and here's the first pitch by Spink, and it's spanked to left field. That's a leadoff home run for the Camels. Wow. First pitch, Eddie Spink already looking against this as Brown. Parker hits a home run, 1-0 Camels. That's a way to start a game. Wow, first pitch, and he's excited. That's the way to start a game right there from Brown. And the pitch was inside, and Parker was just all over it. 1-0 Camels here to start the game. Not so good for the Seawolves. So in steps Thompson, the center fielder. Here's the second pitch of the game. Hope it goes a little bit better than the first. There's a fastball, strike one. 0-1. There's a swing, 0-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Spink. To Thompson. And it's a dive, and couldn't come up with it there. The shortstop for Stony Brook. Misselli bobbled it. Man on first now. Here comes the 3-hitter for Campbell. It's Meglio. So, a poor start right now for Spink. First pitch, first home run from Parker, the shortstop. Now an error by the shortstop for Stony Brook, and it's 1-0 here early. Man on first. There's an outside fastball, 1-0. Third baseman, Meglio, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Meglio from Spink. And another nice hit to left field. It's going to be a double. Second and third now, no outs. As the 3-hitter Meglio doubles to left field. Spink in some more trouble now. Yeah, the Camels are all over him here to start the game. Second and third, no outs. Here comes the 4-hitter for the Camels. It's Morton. Morton, the first baseman for Campbell. The Campbell Camels. That's a alliteration tongue twister. Here's the first pitch. Curveball, 1-0. Spink just looking for his first out of the game. Immediately in dire needs of a out. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Spink to Morton. That's another sweeper inside, 2-0. Now Zepek's going to walk out there. Talk to him. 2-0, second and third, nobody out, 1-0 after a lead-off home run from Parker on the Camels. The pitching coach is out there as well. Cold day today. It's raining a little bit softly to start the game. Maybe it's a gripping problem. He's playing with the ball. So 1-0 Camels here against the Seawolves. Both teams coming in at 500. The Seawolves 15-15 on a 3-game winning streak, and the Camels at 17-17. Stony Brook had a wild comeback last game. Down 6 runs, 13-7. They came back to win 14-13. Incredible comeback in the 9th inning, 6 runs. There's the foul ball off the netting, 2-1. For Stony Brook, it was Chaz Dowdy with the big 3-run home run that got that 9th inning going for a wild comeback win. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Morton grounds one to first. And that's Smink's first out of the inning. Eric Paulson there to clean it up. So Spink's got one out. Runner did come in to score. 2-0 now, Camels. Here comes the 5-hitter Schultz for the Camels. First and third, one out. Spink finally got his first out of the inning. Man on third, one out. There's a sweeper high, 1-0. So a tough start here for Spink. Looking to get out of here with only 3 runs. If you can leave the runner on third, that'd be pretty tough. One out here, man on third. Schultz, the second baseman for the Camels. Campbell play their ball they're from North Carolina. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Spink. He checks the runner. Now we got a little bit of a rundown here between Zepek. They're going to get Maglio there. Ground out straight back to the pitcher. Spink gets out. Second out of the inning. Got out of some trouble there. Could have been his third run. Now looking to get out of here with just only 2 runs let up. So man on first, 2 outs. Here comes Music. Music, the DH, designated hitter for the Camels. Here's the 0-0 pitch from Spink. Eddie Spink, a preseason accolade award winner. Got some hardware before the season. Looking to get the Seawolves to 1 game over 500 for Matt Sank's club here. There's a fastball hit right into center field. Zamprion's there, but it's on a bounce. First and second, 2 outs. And here comes Schramm, the right fielder for the Camels. So a lot of traffic here. Mink letting up 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 double, and that leadoff home run from Parker. First pitch home run. Here's the 0-0 pitch to the right fielder, Schramm. There's a curveball, bounced it, 1-0. So first and second here, 2 runs in for the Camels. Seawolves looking to get out of this inning with just 2 runs. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Schramm from Eddie Spink. There's a curveball in, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Eddie Spink. There's another breaking ball outside, 2-1. Spink throwing a lot of pitches this inning. He's up to 20 pitches now. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Schramm. It's a fastball outside, 3-1 now. Good hitters count for the right fielder Schramm of the Camels, looking for more runs. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Spink. And there's a high fly ball to left field. And the left fielder Carson's under it. And finally Spink gets out of the inning, but a lot of pitches, leadoff home run. A lot of traffic on the bases, 20 pitches. But that's 2 out. He gets out of the inning. It's 2-0 Camels as we go to the bottom of the first, where the Seawolves will have center field Zamprion leading off. Batting second, Eric Paulson, the first baseman. Third baseman, Azpilicueta. Right field, Chaz Dowdy. Batting fifth, Johnny Pilla. Batting sixth, Luke Zepik. Batting seventh, Carson. Batting eighth, Davino. And shortstop, Maselli. Around Major League Baseball, the Yankees play the San Francisco Giants this weekend. They play at 7 o'clock in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium as Long Island's Marcus Stroman takes the mound for the Yanks against Robbie Ray. Yankees, San Francisco Giants, 7:05 start in Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. For the Mets, it's a late game, 10:05 against the Athletics, the cityless team, in a minor league park in Sacramento. It's Griffin Canning versus J.P. Sears. 10:05 start. Pitching for the Camels, it's Brown. Let's get a first name on our pitcher here, Brown. Well, Brown's taking the mound here for the Camels with a 2-run lead after a two-run inning for the Camels to lead off the inning. Leading off the inning was a home run from shortstop Parker. First pitch home run. So he in steps for the Seawolves. It's Zamprione. He's the center fielder for the Seawolves. There's a strike. 0-1. Brown pitches a little bit sidearm. Little short arm from the mound. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's an opposite field hit to right field. And under it is Schramm. So it's 1 out for the Camels. Now coming up for the Seawolves is Eric Paulson, the first baseman. So here's Brown's first pitch to Eric Paulson, the left-handed batter. Tries for a bunt. Goes astray, foul. Eric Paulson, the first baseman. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a ground ball to the shift there in second base. And Schultz throws out Paulson. So 2 quick outs here from Brown. Here comes the designated hitter for the Seawolves. It's Nico Azpilicueta. Not saying that right. Wish I was. Here's the first pitch from Brown to Nico. There's a grounder right to the second baseman there, playing up the middle. Again, 2 putouts for Schultz. So after 1, it's 2-0 Camels. Seawolves down here 2-0. Spink takes the mound in the second again. Also around Major League Baseball, it's the Royals versus the Guardians at 6:10. The Pirates versus the Reds at 6:40. Atlanta Braves at the Tampa Bay Rays at 7:05. Blue Jays at the Baltimore Orioles at 7:05. Washington Nationals at the Marlins at 7:10. The Red Sox at the White Sox at 7:40. Angels at Astros at 8:10 p.m. Tigers at Twins at 8:10 p.m. Phillies at St. Louis Cardinals at 8:15 p.m. And the West Coast games, Colorado Rockies at San Diego Padres 9:40. Brewers Diamondbacks at 9:40 p.m. Rangers Mariners at 9:40 p.m. And the Chicago Cubs in L.A., Los Angeles Dodgers, 10:10 p.m. So top second here, The Campbell Camels leading 2-0 over the Stony Brook Seawolves. 2 runs on 4 hits. Stony Brook was hitless by Brown there. 3 quick outs. So in steps for the Camels is the catcher, Thompson. Eddie Spink looking for a clean inning after a disastrous start. A leadoff home run to start the game, and then some traffic and a run came home on a sacrifice. But it could have been a lot worse for Eddie Spink in that first inning. So here comes the catcher, Thompson. Eddie Spink looking for a better second inning than the first. Especially the first pitch, a first pitch home run from the shortstop for the Camels. Got this one going. There's the ground out right to him. That's the second ground out right to him. Got a potential third run out in a rundown in the first inning. So here comes Simpson, the left fielder. Number 0. Here's the 0-0 pitch from Eddie Spink. There's a fastball high and up, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Spink. There's a breaking ball outside, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch from Spink. And that's to the shortstop. And a put out there from Maselli to Eric Paulson. That's 2 outs now. Quick 2 outs for Spink. And in steps Parker, who got this game going, the shortstop for the Camels, with a leadoff first pitch home run to left field. Let's see if Spink can get some revenge here. Here's the 0-0 pitch to Parker. Right-handed shortstop. Lays down a bunt after the home run. Guess he's got some speed. He's in the leadoff hole. Cold day here in Stony Brook, New York. Joe Nathan Field. 2-0 Camels. 2 outs here. Here's a breaking ball. So it's 1-1 now. Eddie Spink. Pitch to Parker. There's a curveball and a swinger. 1-2. Spink 1 pitch away from getting some revenge on Parker, who torpedoed him. Torpedo bats, of course. Torpedoed him with a first pitch home run to take a 1-0 lead for the Camels. Yeah, Spink was angry there. Let it loose. Outside fastball. Just trying to put him away. Here's the 2-2 pitch now. And it's a curveball outside. 3-2. Full count. So 3-2 count now. Parker fixes his batting gloves. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Spink to Parker. And he chops one off to right, so we'll redo it again. Full count. Campbell Camels leading the Stony Brook Seawolves 2-0 after a 2-run first inning, including a first pitch home run from the batter who's up right now, the shortstop for the Camels, Parker, as they do another 3-2 full count here. Here's the pitch from Spink to Parker. That's a high fastball, gets him swinging there. So Eddie Spink comes out with a 1-2-3 inning after a 4-hit first inning. Got to feel better now. So it's 2-0 Camels as we go to the bottom of the first. Stony Brook will have Chaz Doughty, Johnny Pilla, and Luke Zepek coming to the plate. Looking around in NCAA baseball, Notre Dame plays Boston College today. Some ranked games, Arkansas, number 1, plays Georgia, number 7. Stanford at number 4, Clemson. Number 9, Florida State at 25, Virginia Tech. LSU at Auburn, number 3, LSU at 11, Auburn. Number 5, Tennessee at number 6, Ole Miss. Number 17, Vanderbilt at number 19, Oklahoma. In the NBA today, NBA wrapping up their season. It's the Cavaliers, the 1 seed in the East, at Madison Square Garden against the Knicks at 7:30. Milwaukee Bucks at the Detroit Pistons. Orlando Magic in Indiana Pacers at 7 o'clock. Atlanta Hawks at the 76ers at 7. Hornets Celtics at 7:30. Wizards Bulls at 8. Heat Pelicans at 8. Raptors Mavericks at 8:30. Nets Timberwolves at 9. Grizzlies Nuggets at 9. Thunder Jazz at 9:30. Spurs Suns at 10. Warriors Trailblazers at 10. Clippers Kings at 10, and Rockets at Lakers at 10:30. Full slate of NBA action tonight. And there's the first pitch to Chaz Doughty from Brown. Doughty winning CAA Co-Player of the Week this prior week. Yeah, Brown's a tall guy, but he throws a little sidewinder. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Doughty. It's a fly ball to right field for an easy putout for Schramm. So in steps Johnny Pilla, the second baseman for the Seawolves. There's a high fastball, 1-0. Another high fastball, 2-0. Johnny Pilla, the second baseman for the Seawolves. There's the 2-0 pitch. That one is in there for a strike, 2-1. Bottom second, Seawolves down 2-0 to the Campbell Camels. There's a nice drive to right field. On the warning track, Schramm puts it away. Johnny Pilla gave it a ride. So the Seawolves still looking for their first game. In steps, first hit of the game. Here in steps the catcher, Luke Zepek. Here's the first pitch to Zepek. Fastball inside for a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Brown, and it hits him. Cold day, does not feel good, but Zepek, the catcher, he takes a beating behind the plate, so he'll be all right. Got him on the back, so runner on first. It's the first time the Seawolves have had any traction on the bases. In steps Carson, the left fielder for the Seawolves. Here's the first pitch to Carson. Fastball high, but called a strike by the ump there. So 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch now to Carson. Another fastball away. 1-1 now. Of course, Carson, you think of Johnny Carson, the king of late night. Funny guy. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a ground out to the shortstop Parker. So the Seawolves go down in this inning. Just one hit by a pitch. We're on to the top of the third now. As Campbell will have Thompson, the center fielder, Maglio, the third baseman, and first baseman Morton coming to the plate. Here on WUSB 90.1, top third, Seawolves down 2-0 to the Campbell Camels. It's alliteration, but it's fun. It's a tongue twister. Everyone's happy. Let's look around the National Hockey League. The Canadians play the Senators at 7. Red Wings play the Lightning at 7. Penguins play the New Jersey Devils at 7. Sharks play the Oilers at 9:30, and the Wild play the Flames at 10. Mets and Yankees are off to decent starts. The Mets, well, they're actually both tied for first place. That's more than decent, but Yankees at 7-5, Mets at 8-4. Tonight, the San Francisco Giants are in town in the Boogie Down to play the Yankees at 7:05. Ward Melville's Marcus Stroman on the mound. 7:05 start there in the Bronx. And the Mets have the dreadful 10 p.m. start. They'll need some coffee to watch the Mets tonight. 10:05 start there in Sacramento. It's some Oakland. No, it's hard. It's the Athletics, but they don't have a city. They'll be Vegas bound soon, like the Raiders before them. So here's Spink's third inning of work as he deals with the center fielder Thompson, who got him for a double. Here's the first pitch. Nice breaking ball there. 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Eddie Spink. And it's outside 1-1. Center fielder Thompson, 1 for 1 on the day, was involved in the traffic in the first inning. There's another breaking ball outside, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Spink. And it's fouled off to right field. Campbell Camels, hailing from North Carolina. This is an in-conference matchup. The Seawolves are 15-15. The Camels are 17-17. There's another fastball from Spink. Try to blow it by him. 2-2 again. We'll do it again. In conference, the Seawolves are 3-6. Trying to better that record, but getting over 500 is a landmark regardless. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Spink. There's a high fastball. Checks down to the first place umpire. He did not go. First base umpire. Eddie Spink got 37 pitches now. 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 3-2 pitch, and it's outside. That's his second walk of the game. So now comes the 3-hitter. The third baseman for the Camels, it's Maglio. Maglio wearing the ski mask on a cold day here in Stony Brook, New York. A little bit of rainfall. There's a pickoff attempt from Spink. Runner safe. So 1 out here. 2-0 Camels over the Stony Brook Seawolves. Here's the first pitch to the 3-hitter Maglio. It's a curveball in 0-1. So 0-1 now to Maglio, the third baseman for the Camels. It's a fastball. And wow, Luke Zepek catches Thompson leaning. The catcher with a putout. Spink will take that any day of the week. 2 outs now. What a throw from Zepek. Caught Thompson, the center fielder for the Camels, leaning off first base and picked him off. So it's 2 outs now. Maglio 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Spink. Bounces a curveball. 1-2. Eddie Spink got some preseason accolades, one of the players to watch. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Another curveball outside, 2-2. Spink's on 36 pitches. First inning, 2 runs, a lot of traffic. Could have been a lot worse for Spink. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball. He wanted the pitch, but it was outside. 3-2. Full count now to the 3-hitter for the Camels, Maglio. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Spink. And we'll do it again. Fouled off to left. Umpire getting some more baseballs. At least Joe Nathan Field is turf, so they can deal with some rain, which is very common here in the Northeast. Here's the 3-2 pitch again from Spink to Maglio. And it's high and tight. Almost hit him. So it's runner on first. In steps Morton, the first baseman for the Camels. Camels up here 2-0 on the Seawolves, top third. Spink at 44 pitches. Here comes Morton. The first baseman and the cleanup hitter for the Campbell Camels. Try saying that 5 times. And that's a wild pitch from Spink. Down to second goes Maglio. So runner in scoring position now for the Camels. For their cleanup hitter, Morton. Eddie Spink, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks. Let up that leadoff home run, first pitch home run. Got the Camels going. Here's the first pitch to the cleanup hitter, Morton. Outside, 1-0. Maglio at second, 2 outs. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Morton. Doesn't get the call, 2-0. Spink had a clean second inning. First inning was a lot of traffic. Could have been a lot worse. Only 2 runs. There's a pitch in. 2-1 now. Cleanup hitter Morton. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Spink. There's a ground ball to second baseman. Johnny Pilla puts him out. So that's 2 outs. Okay. Thought the pickoff made it. Having some issues here on my my virtual scoreboard. So 2 outs now. In steps the second baseman Schultz. Runner on third. Here's the pitch from Eddie Spink. There's a sweeper outside. 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch to second baseman Schultz. Seawolves wearing red on Friday. It's a thing around here at Stony Brook University. Wearing red with the numbers in blue. Their red cap. It's a blue brim. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Sorry, it's a red brim. It's 1-1 now to second baseman Schultz. Eddie Spink has surpassed 50 pitches. He's up to 53 now. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Schultz. There's a hard ground ball to shortstop, but Maselli's there to put him out. So the end of the inning, 2-0 Seawolves. 2-0 Camels down to the Seawolves. Seawolves have, it's 2-0 Camels, Seawolves 0. As we're off to the bottom of the third, where the Seawolves will have Davino, Maselli, and top of the order, Zamprione. The NBA playoffs gets underway on Tuesday. The play-in games. All teams make it now. 10 teams make it. And the actual playoffs start April 19th. The New York Knicks will get going either the 19th or the 20th. Looks like they're going to be playing the Detroit Pistons. All they need to do is lock down one more win to stay away from the 4 seed and the Milwaukee Bucks. If it's the 3 seed, then it's the Detroit Pistons. The Knicks will have home court at Madison Square Garden. So looking forward to that. The NFL Draft is coming up very soon. Giants and Jets, early picks. A lot of talk about if the Giants are going to take a quarterback, either Shador Sanders, Jackson Dart. I'll see when it happens. So it's top third. Let me get it right. Camels up 2-0. The Campbell Camels up 2-0 against the Stony Brook Seawolves. Here in the bottom of the third. Broadcast playing tricks on me. When you're home, you get last licks. That's something I remember. So Brown, 2 innings pitched, no hits let up, only 16 pitches. He's dealing. Here's his first pitch to Davino. It's in for a strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Late on it, fights it off. So it's 0-2 now. Brown working on an efficient performance. And there's a strike 3. Some hard stuff up. Davino goes down. Here comes Miceli, the shortstop. Miceli looking for the first hit here for the Seawolves. Brown's got 2.1 innings, no runs, 1 strikeout, only 19 pitches through 2 innings. There's a high fastball, 1-0 to Miceli. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Brown. Got the call there on the corner, 1-1. Top of the order coming up with Zampiron, the center fielder for Stony Brook. Check swing, he went 1-2. Seawolves trying not to go down in order here. 1-2, 1 out. Camels up 2-0 on the Seawolves. Foul ball right back. 1-2 again. Brown, a real tall guy, throws a little sidewinder sidearm. Seawolves having a tough time getting a hit here. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Brown. And Miceli is swinging. So that is his second strikeout. Here comes Zampiron, the center fielder. Zampiron, maybe it's French. Here's the 0-0 pitch to the leadoff hitter, center fielder for Stony Brook. There's a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Brown. Almost bent in there, but it's a ball. 1-1. Brown is working at a very quick pace. And there's a ground ball to third baseman Maglio, who throws out Zampiron. So the Seawolves still scoreless and hitless through 3 as we move on to the top of the first. The Campbell Camels up 2-0 to the Stony Brook Seawolves, going to the 4th inning here. Some more NCAA baseball. Notre Dame at Boston College, Mount St. Mary's at Michigan, USC, Penn State. See if we can get the Stony Brook. It's not going to be on ESPN. That's very disrespectful to Stony Brook. Not on the ESPN app. Stony Brook standings here in the CAA. Yeah, we have Wi-Fi issues. So 2-0 here. Campbell Camels up 2-0 on the Stony Brook Seawolves. Leading off is designated hitter for the Camels here in the 4th. Sweet, sweet music. His last name is Music, the designated hitter. Right field, Schramm. Catcher, Thompson. 6, 7, 8 for the Camels. Eddie Spink in his 4th inning of work here. He's let up 4 hits. It's the first pitch home run he let up. Really got the Camels going, but as I've said, could have been a lot worse for the Seawolves. He's pretty much settled down the last 2 innings with only 1 runner on base when there was a lot of traffic in the first. So in steps Music, the designated hitter. Eddie Spink with his 54th pitch of the day, the afternoon, the morning. What time is it here? 11:50. Okay, the morning. 11:50 in the morning, WUSB 90.1, coming to you from Stony Brook, New York, Joe Nathan Field. Seawolves down 2-0. There's a ball, 1-1, to the 6-hitter, designated hitter, Music. Some people wishing there was some music on this stage. There's a curveball in for a strike, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch to music from Spink. Outside curveball. 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Spink to music. 3-2. So full count now to music. Eddie Spink. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Spink to music. There's a hard fastball. Foul ball. So they'll do it again. You wonder what kind of music likes. Who's his favorite artist? Here's the 3-2 pitch to music. Spink ready. It's a 3-2 pitch. There's a ground ball up the middle. Maselli can't come up with it. So runner on first. Music makes sweet music. Runner on first here, no outs. In steps Schramm for the Camels. Eddie Spink, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. The leadoff home run on the first pitch. 60 pitches. Runner on first. Seawolves trailing here 2-0 to the Campbell Camels. There's a foul ball to right field. Runner on first. No outs. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Schramm, the right fielder. Right-handed batter. There's a sweeper outside, 1-1. Kevin Wygand here calling my first baseball game here for WUSB. Little jitters in the early innings, but settling down here like Eddie Spink. Eddie Spink checks the runner on first. Music. Safe. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Schramm. Eddie Spink, the right-hander. There's another foul ball to right field. So it's 1-2 now. Music was running. Seawolves still hitless through 3. The opposite pitcher on the Camels throwing no-hit ball. Did I say no-hit ball? That's some kind of curse. Another pickoff attempt from Spink. That's his second pickoff attempt, but unlike Major League Baseball, he could pick off till the cows come home. So runner on first, no outs. The 1-2 pitch to Thompson. It's a ground out to Spink, and he gets Schramm. So that's the first out of the inning, and Music moves on to second. So runner on second, 1 out. Eddie Spink playing with his hand. He's had 3 putouts right to him. Maybe in the running for a, not sure what they call it in college. Golden goose? No. Here's the first pitch to Thompson, the catcher. There's a ball outside, 1-0. Thompson, the left-handed batter, against the right-hander, Eddie Spink. 1-0 pitch, runner on second, 1 out. There's a strike, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch to the catcher, Thompson. There's a pitch down, 2-1. Eddie Spink made like Houdini in the first inning, working out of some serious trouble like a magician. Could have been a lot worse for the Seawolves. Got a runner hanging off third base and a rundown. There's a high fly ball, center field. Zamprione gets under it. Music is tagging at third. He gets in there safe. So 2 outs now, runner on third. Eddie Spink trying to get through 4 innings. They check at second, see if he went early, Music. He didn't. So 2 outs. Top 4, right-hander Simpson, the left fielder for the Camels, comes to the plate. 2 outs, runner on third. Top 4 Camels, the Campbell Camels. Up 2-0 here against the Stony Brook Seawolves. Here on WUSB 90.1, coming from Stony Brook, New York, Joe Nathan Field. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Simpson. Outside, fastball. 1-1. Right-hander Simpson. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Tries to bunt. Regardless, high fastball, 2-1. It's called a ball. Simpson's predicting the future. That's always fun to look into. Want to go down a rabbit hole. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1. So Spink trying to dive deep here. 73 pitches. 3-1 count, runner on third, 2 outs. There's the 3-1 pitch. And it's past a diving Davino. And the Camels have their 3rd run. So it's 3-0 Camels now after from the 9-hole, Simpson, the left fielder, gets it through the infield. A diving Davino couldn't come up with it. And that's going to be it for Spink. Taking the ball. So we'll see who comes in now for the Seawolves. It's going to be Peterson. Peterson coming in, the right-hander, number 41 coming in for the Seawolves. The runner on first, 2 outs. So Eddie Spink's day is done. He went 3.2 innings, 3 earned runs. Really got off to a terrible start with that first pitch home run. Worked out of some traffic. But the Seawolves are in a hole here, down 3-0 to the Campbell Camels. The leadoff hitter, Parker, is going to come to the plate after some warm-up pitches from Peterson. He's the shortstop, the right-handed batter that got the game going with a first pitch home run. Got the Camels to an early lead. 12 o'clock now. We had around 11:04 start. Top 4. Peterson getting his warm-ups in. Seawolves down 3-0. Some Major League Baseball news. The New York Mets play the nameless Athletics, cityless Athletics, in a minor league park in Sacramento. Maybe Brett Beatty can get going in a minor league park. Mets fans will get that. The San Francisco Giants are in town to play the New York Yankees in the Bronx and the Boogie Down. Marcus Stroman, the Ward Melville product, takes the mound for the Yankees. I wonder if the New York Giants and the San Francisco Giants ever get together when the Giants are in town. It's a famous Mike Francesa call. Wonder if the San Francisco Giants, when they're in town, if they get together with the New York Giants. So Peterson getting his last warm-up pitches in. Players getting back to their positions. Peterson looking to hold the 3-run lead before it gets out of hand for the Seawolves. Although the Seawolves are coming off a 7-run comeback, down 12-7 in the ninth, scored 6 runs to win 13-12. Chaz Dowdy, the CAA co-player of the week last week, had a big home run in that 9th inning comeback. So Peterson checks the runner. The pickoff instead of throwing his first pitch. It's Parker leading off. Right-handed batter, shortstop for the Camels. He grounds one to third base, and Davino to Paulson with the putout. So we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Campbell Camels 3, Stony Brook Seawolves 0. Still looking for their first hit of the ball game. So bottom 4th, the Seawolves have Eric Paulson coming to plate, this 2-hitter. Azpilicueta, the DH, and the CAA co-player of the week last week, Chaz Dowdy, the 4-hitter, coming to the plate as well as Johnny Pilla. So let's see if the Seawolves can break down Brown, who's gone 3 innings, no hits, 2 strikeouts, only 26 pitches, some video game numbers. Seawolves at 15-15 coming into the game. Campbell Camels at 17-17. Both teams at 500, trying to get over that echelon. So Eric Paulson will lead off the inning, the left-hander. First baseman, it's Brown again. What can Brown do for you? Well, if you're the Campbell Camels, he could throw 3 innings of 2 strikeout, 26 pitches, efficient ball. Brown, the tall right-hander, throws a little sidewinder. Looks more like a bullpen arm, but he's mowing down the Seawolves here. Seawolves looking for their first hit of the ball game. In steps Eric Paulson, the first baseman. Here's the first pitch from Brown to Paulson. Paulson looking for a tries to lay down a bunt there. He's trying to get anything going here, get some runners on the base paths against Brown. Outside, fastball, 1-1. Paulson takes some time outside the plate. The left-hander, first baseman, Here's the 1-1 pitch from Brown. And that's going to be the Seawolves' first hit of the afternoon. He pokes one to left field. Fly ball lands in front of the left fielder, Simpson. So the Seawolves have their first hit of the afternoon. We can say that now. 12:06 p.m. So here to the plate is the 3-hitter Azpilicueta. The designated hitter. Right-handed batter. Brown almost hits him. 1-0 pitch. Bottom 4, Campbell Camels up 3-0 on the Stony Brook Seawolves. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Azpilicueta. Outside, 2-0. Designated hitter. Hit for a lot of power this year for the Seawolves. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's outside, 3-0. Brown without a walk this game. Here's the 3-0 pitch. High and tight. That's his first walk of the ball game. So Seawolves, first and second, no outs. Brown finally showing some weakness in his armor. Here's the just mentioned Chaz Dowdy, CAA co-player of the week last week. Had the big home run that got the Seawolves to have that crazy comeback of 7 runs in the 9th. Looks to bunt, takes it away. But the pitch gets away, so the runners move up. Paulson to third, Azpilicueta to second. So it's second and third, no outs. Here comes the Campbell manager. And we're going to have a manager meeting. I guess it's to discuss if Chaz Dowdy fouled off the pitch or not. And the ump says no. So it's going to be second and third, no outs. Big time spot here for Chaz Dowdy. This is the guy you want up right now for the Seawolves. There's a fastball in there from Brown, 0-1. Here's the pitch from Brown to Chaz Dowdy, the right-handed right fielder. Tried to get him on a sweeper outside. First base ump says he did not go. The catcher discussing the count. It is 1-2. So a 1-2 pitch from Brown to Dowdy. Same pitch. Sweeper tries to get him. Again, he doesn't. First base umpire says no, so 2-2 now. Dowdy looking to get the Seawolves on the board here. They've gotten their first hit this inning, now looking for their first run of the ball game. There's a sweeper inside, but Dowdy fouls it off. So 2-2 again. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Brown to Dowdy. There's a fly ball to right and a diving catch from the right fielder, Schramm. But the Seawolves are on the board. As Paulson tagged up after the nice play in right field by Schramm. Robbed Dowdy of a RBI, 2 RBI single. So the runner stays on second. Ascopque didn't tag. But Dowdy with the sac fly brings home Paulson for the Seawolves' first run of the game. 3-1 now. Campbell Camels leading 3-1. Runner on second for Johnny Pilla, the second baseman. Left-handed batter for the Seawolves. One out. Ascopque on second. Seawolves looking for more here in the bottom of the fourth. There's a nice hit by Johnny Pilla. It drops in front of Schramm. Ascopque comes roaring home. Didn't slide. What's the call here? It looks like the ball got away. Seawolves score. That's a big man. No slide. 3-2 now. Seawolves now 1 run away from tying the ball game. Johnny Pilla trades spots with Ascopque. So it's runner on second. 1 out for Luke Zepek, the catcher, right-handed for the Seawolves. Johnny Pilla tiptoeing off second. Got a look from Brown. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a slice to left, foul. Zepek looking to tie the ball game here. Brown finally showing some human side. He was unhittable the first 3 innings. No hit ball. Second time around, the Seawolves are starting to time him up. There's an outside ball, 1-1. Zepek, Carson, then Davino coming up, 1 out. Runner on second, Johnny Pilla. There's a fastball in, 1-2. So 1-2 now to Zepek from Brown. There's some slow stuff away. Ball 2 at 2-2. Seawolves breaking through this inning for 2 runs. Here's the 2-2 pitch now from Brown to Zepek, the right-handed catcher for the Seawolves. He hits it to right field, but it's goes out foul. We'll do 2-2 again. Zepek, catcher for the Seawolves. Big kid. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Another foul ball right back to the backstop. So Brown now at 40 pitches. He had only thrown 22 through 3 innings. So finally starting to work him a little bit. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Zepek. Zepek bounces it to third. And Maglio puts him away, so that's 2 outs now. Johnny Pilla moves up to third. So runner on third, 2 outs, in steps the left fielder Carson, left-handed batter. Brown trying to keep the Camels on top, 3-2. There's a curveball down. 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Carson. That's a strike, 1-1. Carson trying to tie the ball game here. He's 0-1 on the day like the rest of the lineup was through the first time through. But finally broke through this inning. Eric Paulson, Johnny Pilla, Chaz Dowdy, Aspoquate. Involved in some of the traffic that got the 2 runs home for the Seawolves. Here's the 2-2 pitch now to Carson. And Brown hits one to the shortstop. And Parker with the put away. So through 4 innings, the Campbell Camels 3, the Stony Brook Seawolves 2. Stony Brook gets 2 runs in the 4th to crack into the Camels lead as we move on to the top of the 5th. But the Campbell Camels have center fielder Thompson, third baseman Maglio, and first baseman Morton 2, 3, 4 coming up for the Camels. Here on WUSB 90.1 from Stony Brook, New York at Joe Nathan Field. Some overcast weather. Little rain to start, but cleared away. Pitcher Peterson, who came in for Eddie Spink, who led up 3 runs through 3.2 innings. Peterson came in, got the Seawolves out of some traffic, stranded a runner on third. So 3-2, Seawolves down, top of the 5th. Thompson, the center fielder, he's 1 for 1 on the day. Top 5 here in Stony Brook, New York. Campbell has 3 runs on 6 hits. Stony Brook has 2 runs on 1 hit. Both teams are errorless. The ump says 2 more. Peterson done with his warm-ups. And here comes Thompson, the center fielder, to the plate. 1 for 1 on the day. Matt Sank and his Stony Brook Seawolves trying to go above 500. They're at 17 and 7. They're at 15 and 15. Excuse me. The Campbell Camels are at 17 and 17. Both teams trying to get above 500 today. There's the first pitch from Peterson to Thompson, and it's in there for a strike. 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Right-hander Thompson flies one out to right, and it's gone. Thompson, big shot to right field, opposite field. An Oppo Taco. It's not Taco Tuesday, but Thompson. 4-2 now, Camels. Big power there from Thompson, the 2-hitter center fielder. Just took the Peterson pitch and let the pitch do all the work. Got his hands extended, went opposite field. So the Camels come right back and get a run back. 4-2 Campbell Camels. Seawolves down 2 runs. Here's the third baseman and the 3-hitter. Right-hander Maglio. He's 1 for 1. Hit a double earlier in the game. Right-hander Peterson. His arm hangs. Kind of like a Craig Kimbrell. There's a strike. So Maglio, top of the order for the Campbell Camels, Parker and Thompson. Big home runs for the Camels. There's a hard pitch, gets away from Zepek. Counts about 2-1 to the 3-hitter Maglio. Peterson from the stretch. There's a ground out third baseman, Davino. Throws out his counterpart, Maglio. Third base on third base crime. So one out here. In steps the cleanup hitter for the Campbell Camels. It is Morton, the first baseman, left-handed hitter. Morton is 0 for 2 on the day. Eddie Spink kept him in check. Here's the first pitch to Morton. There's a strike. 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Peterson. Another strike. Peterson pouring it in now. 0-2. Morton, first baseman, cleanup hitter. Held hitless today. Here's the 0-2 pitch. He shags it off to left field. Foul ball. The Camels wearing gray on gray. A team hailed from North Carolina. There's a hard fastball outside. Really let that one loose. 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Peterson. There's a sweeper. Bounce, 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Peterson to Morton. And it's sliced foul again. So Morton staying alive. One out here. Top 5. Campbell Camels 4. Stony Brook Seawolves 2. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Peterson. He wanted that call. Called the ball, so it's full count now. Morton, a left-hander with an impressive at-bat, first baseman for the Camels. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And he slices it off again. Peterson getting a little agitated. Can't put this guy away. Let off the leadoff home run to Thompson, which made it 4-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Morton. Strike 3. Got him. Looking. Frozen rope. So it's 2 outs now. In steps the second baseman, Schultz, who's 0 for 2 as well. Schultz, the right-hander, versus Peterson, the right-hander. Stony Brook wearing red. They're red on red. Red jersey, red hat, white pants. There's a sweeper inside, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Schultz. There's a nice breaking ball on the corner, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Right back up the middle. Gets it. Wow. Could have been a really impressive play there from Johnny Pilla. I thought that ball was in nowhere man's land. Pilla made an attempt. Almost had it, but that was pretty impressive. So runner on first. In steps the designated hitter, right-handed batter, Music. He's 2 for 2 on the day, making sweet music. with his bat. So 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Music. Runner on first. Top 5. Zepek. Another pickoff attempt there from the catcher. Got somebody earlier. So 1-1 now to Music. Runner on first. Camels up 4-2 on the Seawolves. Peterson in his second inning of work. Took over for Eddie Spink. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball outside, 2-1. Music with 2 hits and a run. The designated hitter in the 6th spot. Umpire writing something in his paper. Not sure what that was. So here's the 2-1 pitch to Music from Peterson. Nice pitch, fastball in the corner, 2-2. Peterson trying to get out of this inning after letting up a leadoff home run. The center fielder Thompson to make it 4-2 Camels. There's a breaking ball outside. So it's a full count now to Music. Peterson with 23 pitches out of the bullpen for Matt Sank Seawolves. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And it's a gapper. But right fielder Chaz Dowdy covering a lot of ground out there. So it's 3 outs as we move on to the bottom of the 5th here at Joe Nathan Field in Stony Brook, New York. Campbell Camels get 1 run on the home run from Thompson to make it 4-2. Campbell Camels 4, Stony Brook Seawolves 2. Here on WUSB 90.1. We'll look around some Major League Baseball action tonight, Friday. The Mets are in Sacramento playing the cityless Athletics. There's no city attached. Vegas is in the works. The Yankees in the Boogie Down will play the San Francisco Giants. Ward Melville's Marcus Stroman on the mound against Robbie Ray. And for the Mets, it's Griffin Canning taking on the former Yankees farmhand J.P. Sears. And it's Kansas City Royals at the Guardians, Pirates at Reds, Braves at Rays, Blue Jays at Orioles, Nationals Marlins, Red Sox White Sox, Angels Astros, Tigers Twins, Phillies Cardinals, Rockies Padres, Brewers Diamondbacks, Rangers Mariners, and the Chicago Cubs and the Los Angeles Dodgers out there in LA. So bottom of the 5th, Campbell's up 4-2, 4 runs, 8 hits for the Campbell Camels. Stony Brook 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for both teams. Bottom of the 5th inning here, the Stony Brook Seawolves will have Davino, Miscelli, and then top of the order, Zampriron. Here's the first pitch from Brown. Working into the 5th inning. Seawolves finally got to him in the 4th. So, 1-1 now. Brown with a high fastball. He's up to 45 pitches. Still very efficient for the 5th inning. He's got 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 45 pitches. Davino at the plate, the third baseman for the Seawolves. Left-handed batter. 1-2 pitch from Brown. It's a fastball away. 2-1. 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch from right-hander Brown to Davino. Outside again. 3-2. Full count. Davino in the 8 hole. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Just gets a piece of it to left field. We'll do full count again for Davino. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Davino fouls it off again. Right-hander Brown, tall guy, wears 33, sidewinder. See a weird angle. There's strike 3. Davino's down, 1 out. In steps the 9-hitter. The shortstop for the Stony Brooks, right-handed batter Maselli. Maselli 0 for 1. Here's the pitch from Brown to Maselli. Shows bunt. Did he leave it up too long? So it's 1-0. Shortstop Maselli. It's a pitch from Brown. Right back up. And it's going to land in there in front of Thompson. So the Seawolves have a runner on first as Maselli drops one right in front of the center fielder Thompson to get something started here for the Seawolves. So in steps leadoff hitter Zamprione, center fielder for the Stony Brook Seawolves. 0 for 2 on the day. Right-handed batter. Here's the pitch from Brown. And running is Maselli, trying to get something going, but backstop Thompson throws him out with a dart. So that's 2 outs now for Brown. He'll take that. Maselli trying to get something going for the Seawolves. So here's the 0-1 pitch now to Zamprione. He hits one to center. Oh, actually the second baseman, Schultz, goes out there to make the play. So Brown's gone through 5 now. Only 56 pitches. Throwing pretty much a gem. As we move to the top of the first, the Campbell Camels 4, Stony Brook Seawolves 2. Campbell has 8 hits, 0 errors. Stony Brook still with those 2 hits. So top of the 6th inning. The Campbell Camels will have Schramm, Thompson, and Simpson. We'll see if Peterson's still in the game. Peterson's gone 1.1 inning of 2-hit ball. He lit up that leadoff home run last inning to Thompson to make it 4-2. Eddie Spink got off to a tough start in the first. Leadoff first pitch home run from Parker, the shortstop for Campbell. So top of the 6th here, Joe Nathan Field, Stony Brook, New York. WUSB 90.1. The Campbell Camels, the alliteration, Campbell Camels, Campbell Camels. Try saying that 5 times. Campbell Camels have 4 runs on 8 hits, 0 errors. The Stony Brook Seawolves trailing with 2 runs, 2 hits, and 0 errors. Peterson taking the mound for the 3rd inning of his work of the bullpen. his third inning of work. Right fielder Schramm to lead off. Thompson, the catcher, and left fielder Simpson. The 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Camels. Around 50 degrees here today. Stony Brook, New York, Joe Nathan Field. We had a little bit of rain earlier, but it's gone to the side. So here comes Schramm, the right fielder. Here's the pitch from Peterson. Fouled off to the right. So 0-1 now. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Schramm from Peterson. It's outside, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swinger right there from Schramm, so it's 1-2. Right-hander Schramm, the right fielder, against Peterson. Shorter guy, Peterson, does the Craig Kimbrell, hangs the ball out of the stretch. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball that bounced, 2-2. Zepek doing a good job back there, keeping it in front of him. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Peterson to Schramm. Fastball outside. So full count now. Peterson puts his hat up for a second. Maybe tiring out a little bit here. Just worked 2 innings out of the bullpen. There's the 3-2 pitch, a shot with Johnny Pilla. Slick pickup there to Eric Paulson, so it's 1 out. Johnny Pilla flashing some leather. Johnny on the spot there. So here comes Thompson, the backstop for the Campbell Camels. Left-handed batter, batting 8th for the Camels. Here's the pitch from Peterson. There's a fastball on the outside for a ball. 1-0. Camels up 4-2 here against the Seawolves. There's a nice stroke to right field, but foul. So Thompson gives it a ride. Off the right field wall, but it goes foul. So 1-1 now. Peterson's got to look away now with Thompson squaring up that inside fastball. And he hits the outside corner, 1-2. So here's the 1-2 pitch. Left-hander Thompson, backstop for the Camels. He fouls that one off late to left field. So let's do 1-2 again. Top 6. Seawolves down 2 runs, 1 out. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Peterson. Outside, 2-2. So here's the 2-2 pitch from Peterson to Thompson. Another outside pitch. Peterson may be running out of some gas here. Relief pitcher. Came on to relieve Eddie Spink. Eddie Spink went 3.2 innings, 3 runs. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Another shot from Thompson. Could be a gapper. But no, it's Chaz Dowdy there again, showing off the wheels. Ball hung a little too high. But Thompson gave it a ride. So here comes left fielder Simpson. Simpson is 1 for 2 on the day. Had an RBI earlier in the game. 9-hole hitter, double leadoff. Simpson, the right-handed batter, wears number 0. It's a strike from Peterson. Here's the 0-1 pitch. He chalks it off. 0-2. So Peterson on the precipice of getting out of this one. Some impressive bullpen work, just that one run, keeping the Seawolves in this game. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's outside. 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Peterson to Simpson. It's another outside pitch, 2-2. So 2-2 now to Simpson. Peterson from the stretch. And that's a strike 3 freeze frame. Got him frozen there. Frozen pizza. There was nothing else to eat. So we move on to the bottom of the 6th. Seawolves still trying to get even here. They're down a half, 4-2. You have the 2-hitter Eric Polson, Aspelpuet, the 3-hitter cleanup Dowdy, and Johnny Pilla. This was the same people we had up. In that 4th inning, we got the 2 runs. See if Brown is going to stay in now for his 6th inning of work. I mean, he should, working on a 3-hit, 5-inning, only 2 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. A decimal, only 56 pitches for Brown. It's really been the story is the Brown and Spink matchup. Spink letting up 3, Brown letting up only 2. And the longevity of Brown back on the hill here. So the Campbell Camels bottom 6th, 4. The Stony Brook Seawolves 2. The Camels have 8 hits. The Seawolves have 3. Both teams are errorless here at Joe Nathan Field in Stony Brook, New York. WUSB 90.1. So in steps lefty, the first baseman, Eric Paulson. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Got the Seawolves' first hit of the day back in the 4th inning. Here's the first pitch from Brown to Paulson. Paulson right on it, right back to the fencing. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Paulson. There's a fastball outside. 1-1. So 1-1 now to Paulson from Brown. That's a high fastball outside. 2-1. Brown's finally hit 60 pitches through 6. So I'm no STEM major, but that's a pretty good percentage. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's fly to left. And left fielder Simpson gets under it. So 1 out. Brown now 5 through 5.1 innings of work. In steps the three-hitter right-hander Aspoquate, the DH for the Seawolves. Here's the first pitch. It's a high fastball, 1-0. Aspoquate walked. There's a ground ball, bobbled. The shortstop Parker muffed it. So Aspoqueta is on first. And in steps the cleanup hitter, Chaz Dowdy. Chaz Dowdy with the sac fly that brought home Eric Polson to get the first run on the board for the Seawolves. Here's the first pitch from Brown to Dowdy, the right-hander. It's inside to Dowdy. Chaz Dowdy won CAA Player of the Week last week. He's also involved in the Seawolves' magical 6-run 9th inning for a comeback. 7-run. They were down 13-7, won 14-13. Chaz Dowdy home run sparked the whole thing. So here's a mound visit for Brown. He's on 62 pitches here in the 6th. Only letting up to 3 hits and 2 runs. He's staying in. He gives fist bumps to his infield. It was just a mound visit from the pitching coach. So here's the 2-0 pitch to Chaz Dowdy, the right-handed cleanup hitter for the Seawolves. That's a sweeper outside, 3-0. See if Dowdy gets the green light here. That's a strike on the corner, fastball, 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Brown. And Dowdy hits it foul into the woods. Three-two. Here's the pitch from Brown. Dowdy tries to check his swing. He did not go. Gets the call there from the first base umpire. So the Seawolves, first and second, bottom of the 6th, they're down 4-2 here to the Campbell Camels. And in steps to the plate, it's Johnny Pilla, the second baseman, who's got a hit and RBI in the ball game. It looks like that's it for Brown. So left-hander Hendricks will come into the ball game to face left-hander Johnny Pilla. Seawolves down 2 runs, but they have something going here. First and second, 1 out for Johnny Pilla. Aspoqueta and Dowdy both walked. So that's the end of the road for Brown, who threw an impressive 5.1 innings. 3-hit ball, 2 runs, low pitch count. So the left-hander out of the bullpen, Hendricks warming up. Johnny Pilla coming to the plate. It's Johnny Pilla, then Zepek, and Carson. 5, 6, 7 for the Seawolves. The Stony Brook Seawolves at 15-15. They've won 3 in a row. The Campbell Camels 17-17. Both teams trying to get over that 500 hump. Camels hump. That's interesting. The camels, of course, camelbacks, they have humps. So 4-2, Camels leading 4-2 on the Seawolves. Seawolves looking to do damage here with Johnny Pilla first and second, one out, down 2 runs. We'll see what Johnny has in store. 2 more pitches here, warm up for the reliever Hendricks. Another guy right from the stretch. Left-hander. The manager looking for a left on left, with Johnny Pilla being left-handed, Carson being left-handed, and Davino, all left-handed batters. Could be Zepek, the right-handed catcher who's behind Pilla, who can make a real difference here in this crucial bottom of the 6th inning. So first and second, bottom of the 6th, in steps Johnny Pilla, left-handed batter, left on left. Hendricks, the new pitcher for the Camels. Here's the first pitch to Pilla. Check flare, fouled it off to right, so it's 0-1. So here's the 0-1 pitch from Hendricks. There's a ground ball, kind of in no man's land, and Johnny Pilla, holy cow, he dove. He dove and got there, so his base is loaded now. Johnny Pilla putting his body on the line. Took a dive like it was Memorial Day weekend into a swimming pool. Impressive hustle right there from Johnny Pilla. Mr. Hustle, Johnny Pilla. So bases loaded for the right-handed backstop, Luke Zepek. 1 out. Zepek grounds it to second. That could be a double play. Zepek. Hendricks is pumped coming off the mound. So the score remains 4-2. Campbell Camels up 4. Stony Brook Seawolves at 2. As we move on to the top of the 7th inning, as the Seawolves with bases loaded and 1 out, Zepek grounds into a double play, a momentum killer here in Stony Brook, New York. Still 9 outs to work with for the Seawolves. Only a 2-run deficit. The Campbell Camels have Parker, Thompson, and Maglio coming up this inning against Peterson, who's going to be stretched out even more out of the pen. Parker, of course, hit the first pitch home run against Matt Spink that made the game 1-0. And then Thompson got Peterson in the 5th for his leadoff home run. So both these guys have home runs today. Let's see what Peterson has in store against Parker and Thompson. Top 7, Joe Nathan Field, Stony Brook, New York. Campbell Camels 4, Stony Brook Seawolves 2. Camels have 8 hits, Stony Brook has 3 hits. The Camels have an error, the Stony Brook has no errors. Peterson still in the game. About 50 degrees almost 1 o'clock. We started at around 11:04. Game going towards 2 hours here on WUSB 90.1. So in steps Parker, the right-handed shortstop, who got this game started off with a bang when he parked one into left field off Eddie Spink off the first pitch of the game. Here's the pitch to the shortstop Parker. Another big swing to left field. But under it is left fielder Carson. The feed took away where the ball was going, so I just had to. It's a big swing, but Carson was there. So here's Thompson, who had the 5th inning home run against Peterson. And he looks to bunt, which is puzzling. You hit a home run off the guy in the 5th inning, then you come up and show bunt. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Shows bunt again. Peterson will take that. You want to lay down a bunt instead of an opposite field Oppo Taco home run? I'll take the bunt. No taco. There's a big cut from Thompson. Maybe the bunt is just a psychological thing. Trying to rattle Peterson. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Thompson. Hey, another bunt. He actually got some metal on it, so it's 2-2. After his home run off Peterson, that's 3 bunt attempts. I don't get it, but 2 for 2 on the day. Home run off the guy you're facing. There's a ball, 3-2. So full count now. To Thompson, right-hander. Peterson trying to get payback. And he does. Strike 3. Thompson thinks it was a walk, but the umpire called him out. So it's 2 outs now. Here comes the 3-hitter Maglio. Maglio 1 for 2 on the day with a double. Peterson's gone through 3 innings now of 2-hit, 1-run ball. It was the home run from Thompson that made his start. It was almost immaculate without that. There's a first pitch strike to the 3-hitter Maglio. Right-handed batter, the third baseman. There's a ball, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a ground ball back to Peterson. Could be a tough play, but he makes it look easy. So we're on to the bottom of the 7th. Seawolves down 2 runs. Campbell Camels 4. Stony Brook Seawolves 2. Here in Stony Brook, New York at Joe Nathan Field. WUSB 90.1. In the bottom of the 7th, the Seawolves will have left fielder Carson, third base Davino, shortstop Maselli. Then it's back to the top of the order in Zampiron. So Seawolves just trying to get back into this game. I mean, 2 runs is not much, but the way Campbell has been pitching, see if it's like a camel hump to get over here for the Stony Brook Seawolves. So lefty Hendricks will stay in to face lefty Carson, lefty Davino. Then it's righties Miceli, Zamperone. Paulson's another lefty in the 2-hole, but so bottom 7, Campbell Camels 4, Stony Brook Seawolves 2, Camels with 8 hits, Seawolves with 3. Bottom of the 7th here at Joe Nathan Field in Stony Brook, New York. Brown, the pitcher for the Camels, went 5.1 innings of 2-run ball, only throwing around 60 pitches. Some impressive precision from Brown. So here comes to the plate. It's Carson, the left fielder for the Seawolves. Carson, the left-handed batter, as is the batter on deck, Davino. Little left-on-left action for the Campbell Camels. Playing the percentages here. Seawolves down 2 runs. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Hendricks. That's a ball again, so it's 2-0 now. Carson in a hitter's count. There's another ball, 3-0. Hendricks with a mustache. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And it's ball 4. So Carson, leadoff walk for Hendricks. They say in Major League Baseball, leadoff walks are killers. So let's see if the Seawolves can execute a comeback here. Down 2 runs. In steps lefty third baseman Davino. 0 for 2, another left on left. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt. Brings it away. Which again I think is a psychological thing to rattle the pitcher. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Hendricks to Davino. Shows bunt again, takes it back. So 6 straight balls for Hendricks. Strategically, the Campbell Camels wanted this lefty on lefty, but 6 balls for Hendricks in a row wasn't the plan. And he finds the strike zone there, so finally 2-1 now. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Miceli. Sorry, to Davino. Shows bunt again and actually drops it down. And Hendricks plays juggler. Juggles the ball and can't get an out. So it's first and second. No outs for Miceli. The right-handed shortstop has a hit on the day. And a strikeout in the double leadoff. Batting 9th for the Seawolves. Checks with his third base coach here. Some signs confusion. Possibly. So two righties coming up now against the left-hander Hendricks. I don't particularly know the splits. I fancy myself not a nerd, but in many ways I am one. So third base coach giving a talking to Miceli here. Not really sure. Maybe there's a pitching change or... Nope, Hendricks is still in. Just a mound visit. A mound visit and a third base coach visit. Third base coach visits are not counted. Here's the first pitch to Miceli. Lays down a bunt. Hendricks this time fields his position correctly. Gets the runner at first. Setting up a second and third, one out for the top of the order. And it looks like manager Zank is going to pull Zamprione, who's 0 for 3 on the day, in favor of pinch hitter Gel. Both right-handers, but Gel will come in to pinch hit. So left-hander Hendricks, his first pitch to pinch hitter Gel. Gel takes a big cut. Shakes his head. He likes where he's at. Against this pitcher, here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball down, 1-1. So 1-1 here to Gel. Pitch from Hendricks. There's a ground ball to second base. Gets through. And the Seawolves are going to tie this game 4-4. Gel off the bench, cold off the bench. It was a hot bench. Had some heat warmers in there. He comes in hot. Makes it 4-4. Seawolves tie it up. We're all even here, bottom of the 7th. So man on first. It's Gel, 4-4 now. Seawolves come back from down 3-0 to even the score now 4-4. So pinch running for Gel is Santori. And in steps the two-hitter lefty Eric Paulson, first baseman. Lefty on lefty here. Here's the first pitch. Paulson swings and misses. Runner on first. One out. 4-4. Seawolves 4. Camels 4. Bottom of the 7th inning. Hendricks checks on Santori. Santori, the pinch runner for the clutch man himself, Gel, who just tied the ball game with a pinch hit, 2 RBI single. Here's the pitch to Paulson. Fouls it off. Gel's pinch hit, scoring Carson and Davino after 2 leadoff walks. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Paulson. And he checks the runner again. Santeria, the pinch runner, must have some speed. It's 2 pickoffs in a row. So lefty on lefty here, the 2-hitter Eric Paulson, the pitch from Hendricks. Looks like a pitch out. And they're worried about Santeria. So 1-2 now. Runner on first. We're all evened up 4-4. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Paulson. Paulson chops at it. Foul left. Foul to left field. So we're all evened up 4-4. Seawolves just tied it. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Paulson. Heart of the order coming up. Is up. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And there goes Santeria. Steals the base on a curveball that bounced. Easy stolen base. So now after evening it up, the Seawolves are on the verge of taking their first lead in the ball game. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Eric Paulson. Paulson gnaws it off again to left field. Pretty good at bat here from Paulson. Really making Hendricks work. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Hendricks to Eric Paulson, the first baseman. And now Paulson rips it down the left field line. Just goes foul. That would have given the Seawolves the lead. Paulson with the right idea. Going with the pitch. So here's the 2-2 pitch again. It's a lengthy at bat from Paulson. Here's the pitch from Hendricks. Another shard off. Right back to the netting. 2-2 again. If you're just joining us, the Seawolves have just tied the game here in the bottom of the 7th. 4-4 against the Campbell Camels. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Paulson again. Foul ball to left. Really seems like he's trying to go that way. Against Hendricks. Throwing him a lot of off-speed stuff. And here's the 2-2 pitch again from Hendricks. Paulson just one-hands it and bloops it in. And here comes Santeria, play at the plate. Oh, whoa. He wasn't running as fast as I thought he was, but the dive, a Superman dive into home. It's a bang-bang play. But I ain't got no Santeria. Santeria, Superman dives. The Seawolves take the lead 5-4 here on the Campbell Camels. Eric Paulson, the first baseman, with the go-ahead RBI single. He winds up at second. And here's Aspoqueta, the DH for the Seawolves. Seawolves now leading 5-4 against the Campbell Camels. Trying to go above 500. They're at 15-15 right now. Also on a 3-game winning streak. The Campbell Camels at 17-17. So something had to give between these two clubs today. Seawolves were down early 3-0. Now Ascopueta with a long drive, but to the warning track, and it's Thompson who gets under it, but it's long enough for Paulson to tag to third. So here comes Chaz Dowdy, the CAA Player of the Week last week. He was involved, greatly involved, which sparked the 7-run comeback from last game's win. 7 runs, 13-12. They were down 12-6. There's a strike by Hendricks. Hendricks getting roughed up a little bit here. We said that walks are killers, and they were. 3 runs for the Seawolves to take the lead. There's a ground ball to second baseman. Schultz takes care of Chaz Dowdy. But the Stony Brook Seawolves, with 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th, take a 5-4 lead. Here going to the top of the 8th inning. It was Gel pinch hitting for Zamperone. Cold off the bench, hot off the bench, came in hot with a pinch hit single that tied the game. And then Eric Paulson gave the Seawolves the lead with the bloop left field hit. But Santeria showing off some wheels and athleticism with a diving into home, just not in time. A bang play. Seawolves 5, Campbell Camels 4. So we move on here to the top of the 8th inning. And look who's back on the mound. It's bullpen / starter. I mean, 3.1 innings. Peterson, 48 pitches. Matt Sank's going to ride him into the sunset. And for the Campbell Camels, it's Morton, Schultz, and Music, the 4-5-6, coming to the plate. So as we look around Major League Baseball, the Mets, the New York Mets, play tonight, 10:05 p.m. against the Athletics. The team with a horse with no name. A team with no city. The Athletics, a team with no city. The Mets play the Athletics in Sacramento at 10:05, and then at Yankee Stadium, it's the San Francisco Giants that are in town to play the Yankees with Marcus Stroman. Ward Melville's Marcus Stroman taking the mound against Robbie Ray. And the Mets will send Griffin Canning to the mound against former farmhand for the Yankees, J.P. Sears. I wonder if the San Francisco Giants and the New York Giants ever get together when the San Francisco Giants are in town. Of course, that's a Mike Francesa famous prank call. And here's the first pitch from Peterson to first baseman Morton, the left-hander. Morton 0 for 3 on the day. 1-0. There's another borderline strike, but doesn't get the call. Peterson does the Craig Kimbrell tight. Can't explain what you call it, but it's very similar. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Strike Craig Kimbrell, the famous closer. He's been all over the place. Braves, Phillies, who knows where else. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouls it off, 2-2. Peterson doing God's work for Matt Sank, preserving his other bullpen arms. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's right down the middle, frozen rope, freeze frame, strike 3. Morton's down, feeling a little salty. Morton is down. Here comes Schultz. Schultz, the second baseman, 1 for 3. Peterson hangs his arm again. The short right-hander pouring in tall heat, high heat. He throws fast for almost like Ward Melville's Marcus Stroman. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Peterson to Schultz, the right-hander. Check swing. Umpire says he went. 0-2. Peterson's starting to groove now. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Let that one loose. Almost like in basketball, a heat check. Just kind of let it all loose. And here's the 1-2 pitch to Schultz. There's the foul ball. Peterson jumping around. Here's the 0-2 pitch. 1-2 pitch to Schultz. Peterson. There's a beautiful sweeper. Frozen rope again. Caught frozen. 2 strikeouts in a row now. 2 freeze frames from Peterson. And in steps Music, the designated hitter for the Camels. There's another strike on the sweeper. Peterson now pitching like he's got headphones on. He's listening to sweet music as he faces Music here, the designated hitter for the Camels. There's a sweeper down, 1-1. Music has 3 hits on the day. Right-hander. And there's his 4th hit. A line drive to left field, drops. So the Music man, 3 for 4. It's been a tough out for the Seawolves today, the 6-hitter. So in steps Schramm, Schultz and Schramm. Schramm and Schultz. But Schultz, the right fielder, 0 for 3 on the day. The ump tells Peterson he's got to look me in the eyes. So the right fielder Schramm digs in against Peterson. There's a ball, 1-0. Peterson now 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, that 1 home run from Thompson that led off that 5th inning. Got 5 strikeouts, 60 pitches. Now the question is, where did Peterson just go? We have something going on with Peterson. Maybe there it is. He's dealing with some kind of positional equipment malfunction. Something on his arm, or now he gives the thumbs up. All right. We have technical difficulties, equipment malfunctions, fancy ways to say whatever. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Schramm from Peterson. And it gets by Zepek, but Music doesn't make a run for it. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Schramm, the right-hander, right-handed batter. There's an outside ball, 3-0. 5-4, Seawolves leading the Campbell Camels here, top of the 8th. Stony Brook, New York, Joe Nathan Field. There's a strike from Peterson. Matt Smink started the game for the Seawolves. Went 3.1 innings, letting up 3 runs. The pitcher for the Campbell Camels, Brown, was unbelievable through 6 innings. 2-run ball, only around 60 pitches. You can do the math if you're a STEM major. Pretty impressive stuff for Brown. But it wasn't until the left-hander Hendricks came in from the bullpen to relieve Brown that the Seawolves came swimming back with Gell, the pinch hitter. RBI, 2 RBI single. There's a ground ball to Paulson. Taking himself. A diving Schramm. Tried to do the Johnny Pilla. Only Johnny on the spot can do that. So he's out. We move on to the bottom of the 8th. Seawolves 5. Campbell Camels 4. Coming up for the Camels is the catcher Thompson. I'm sorry. Coming up for the Stony Brook Seawolves is Johnny Pilla, Luke Zepek, and Carson. Holding on to a 1-run lead, but they're really not holding on. They came all the way back from 3-0. Looking to go up to 16-15 on the year. 1 game above 500. Both teams actually came into the game. Seawolves 15-15, the Camels 17-17. Trying to get over that camel hump. I say with a straight face. The Stony Brook Seawolves trying to go 16-15, win their 4th in a row. Riding that momentum. The 9th inning comeback. Last time out, a 6-run 9th inning. Fueled by CAA co-player of the week last week, Chaz Dowdy. So Hendricks will stay in, the left-handed pitcher for the Campbell Camels, in this first game of a 3-game series against Campbell here in Stony Brook, New York at Joe Nathan Field. Seawolves 5, Campbell Camels 4. Seawolves 6 hits, Camels 9, 2 errors for the Camels. And in steps Johnny on the spot. Johnny Rocket, Johnny Pilla. Second baseman, left-handed batter, 2 for 3. 2 hits and an RBI. Batting 6th for the Seawolves. Tried to lay down a bunt. Hendricks juggled a baseball last inning on a bunt attempt. So here's the 0-1 pitch. Seawolves 3 outs away, preserving this first game of the series win. Here's a sweeper outside. 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Johnny Pilla. Fastball outside, 2-1. Hendricks was watching. There's a ground foul. Hendricks was watching from the watchtower in the bullpen as Brown produced 6 brilliant innings. He came in, surrendered 3 runs to give the Seawolves the lead. There's a foul ball by Johnny Pilla. 2-2 still to count. Bottom of the 8th, 5-4. Seawolves holding on to a 1-run lead. It's the Campbell Camels. There's a nice sweeper, gets Johnny Pilla. It's a swinger there for Hendricks. So in steps catcher Luke Zepek. If you're one of the two people that have been listening, he grounded out to a bases loaded 1-out double play. The bottom of the sixth that looked like could be the nail in the coffin for the Seawolves. But now that pressure's off him. Z-Pack 0 for 2 on the day. Backstop. Done a nice job behind the plate. Threw a runner out on a pickoff play. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Hendricks. It's 1-2. Hendricks is C-Pack swings through it. 1-2 pitch now from Hendricks. Here's the pitch. It's a ball inside. 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's grounded. Foul. Stony Brook Seawolves trying to reach a plateau of above 500 at 16-15 here in this first game of a CAA opponent, Campbell Camels, who have a better record in conference than the Seawolves. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Way up. Looks like that Edwin Diaz pitch, if you're a Met fan, from their loss on Wednesday. Wild thing. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And Z-Pack to the opposite field. And they'll run out of room, the right fielder and first baseman. So we'll do 3-2 again. Z-Pack. Z-Pack. Some kind of, could be allergy medicine. Z-Pack. I've heard of it. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Another saw off. So Z-Pack stays in there. That we'll do 3-2 again. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Hendricks. And that's a ball. Way outside. So Z-Pack at first. And in steps lefty on left now, left-handed batter Carson. Came in pinch, he double switched to play center now to end the game. Here's the pitch to Carson. And that's a strike. Hendricks versus Carson. Lefty on left. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's another strike from Hendricks. Hendricks, 2.1 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, a strikeout, 27 pitches. Came in to relieve Brown. There's a high fly ball. Oh, Willie Mays Hayes there. Thompson makes the sliding grab. It's 2 outs now. Bottom of the 8th. In steps lefty Davino. Davino 0 for 3. Scored a run. 2 outs, no runners on. Davino. And he just used the pickoff, so there is a runner on. Technology sometimes, it'll fail you. So hopefully it doesn't fail society. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Davino, lefty on left. 0-1. This was the strategy that Campbell Camels had. All those lefties coming up, but Hendricks couldn't find the strike zone and juggled a bunt. Then it was Gel with the pinch hit RBI that made it 4-4. Pinch hit 2 RBI, and then it was Eric Paulson, the Texas leaguer, to left field. Santeria came home. Superman dived in. That's what gave us what we have here is a 5-4 Seawolves lead. Bottom of the 8th, Seawolves 5, Campbell Camels 4. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Davino. On the corner. Didn't get the call. Hendricks mutters to himself. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Davino. And a fly ball to the outfield. And there is Thompson again with the putout. So through 8 innings, the Stony Brook Seawolves 5, Campbell Camels 4. Stony Brook is 3 outs away from a 4-game winning streak and going 1 game over 500. Coming up for the Campbell Camels is Thompson, Simpson 8-9. Then they turn it over to Parker and Thompson 1-2. Both guys home runs on the game. Parker, the leadoff hitter, with a first pitch home run of Eddie Spink, and Thompson a 5th inning solo home run. Parker hit his home run, pulled it off Eddie Spink, first pitch of the game. Thompson hit an oppo taco against the pitcher who's still in. That is Peterson. Peterson looking to lock up this ball game for the Seawolves. An impressive 1 run, 4 innings plus from Peterson, who took the baton from Eddie Spink. So Peterson looking to close the door for the Seawolves here. A 1-run lead. I don't think it's a save chance. I think it's a win. Because Eddie Spink was losing when he came out. Regardless, though, for a bullpen guy, it feels like a save attempt. Peterson's gone 4.1 innings, 3 hit ball, that 1 home run to Thompson, 66 pitches. So here's Thompson, the left-handed batter, the catcher, shows bunt. The psychological warfare of bunt attempts in college baseball. We learn something new every day. 0-1, here's the pitch to Thompson from Peterson. Should have got that call, but 1-1. Thompson squared up a few of Peterson's pitches, but they went foul. 2-1 now. Peterson in his signature stretch motion. 2-1. Now he's in dangerous position. 3-1. You do not want that leadoff walk. We saw in the 7th inning, did Hendricks dirty. And there's a much needed strike, so full count. Thompson 3-2. Peterson looking to avoid the leadoff walk here, top of the 9th. Seawolves holding on to a 1-run lead. And there's a ground ball to Pilla. And Paulson's there for the putout. So 1 out now. The Seawolves are 2 outs away. Riding momentum from their 9th inning comeback. 6-run comeback. Their last time out here at Joe Nathan Field. So in steps the left fielder Simpson. Simpson in the 9 hole. Double leadoff. Everybody gets a trophy. Simpson 1 for 4 on the day. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a ground ball, third base. And it's another putout, Davino. So we're down to our last out for the Seawolves to come out with a win here. Seawolves 5. Stony Brook Seawolves 5, Campbell Camels 4. 2 outs. And here steps the man who got the game started off with a bang. It's Parker, the shortstop leadoff hitter for the Camels. Peterson pours in a strike, 0-1. Parker hitting a leadoff first pitch home run off starter Eddie Spink. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Peterson, sweeper outside. Peterson gets into the Craig Kimbrell crouch. Ball hanging, very similar to the closer in Major League Baseball. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Foul ball. So like as Gary Cohen likes to say, and Jerry Seinfeld doesn't like to hear, the Camels are down to their last strike. 1-2. Parker at the plate. He's 1 for 4 with a home run. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Peterson to Parker. Peter Parker. Spider-Man 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Camels down to their last strike. Foul ball. We'll do it again, 2-2. Peterson to Parker. Here's the pitch from Peterson. And it's another towering fly ball on the warning track. It's Carson. And that will be the ball game as the Seawolves take this one 5-4. The first win of a series, and they are now 1 game above 500, 16-15. They'll play Campbell the next two days here at Joe Nathan Field. But for Matt Sank and his club, it's got to feel good to get over that hump against the Camels. They're now on a 4-game winning streak, riding some momentum from that 9th inning comeback, 6-run comeback. The Seawolves are 16-15 with a win here. What a comeback. Player of the game is Mr. Gel, cold off the bench, hot bench. He came in hot, tied the ball game. Seawolves get the win 5-4. Let's go Seawolves. I hit break. Is that bad?
What do you mean you hit break?
After live, I went to break. Like, does that mean it's over? Or just keep it on live?
If it's on break, that means that they can't hear you at the very least. Just FaceTime me real quick and I'll get it ended.
Yeah, the game's over. So just hit live or